I am Brad. I'm in a different booth this time. We're not in the main hall. We've decided to move it around the hotel. We've gone somewhere a bit different. But I'm joined by Nic from Trilogy.
Good morning, Brad. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Bearing up.
Bearing up. Just medium. So, Trilogy are a mainstay of the show. How many years have you guys done this?
Well, we've done 36 years old, but we've only done the show for the last 4 years, I think.
But you're a firm favourite in the conservatory there.
With Wilson Benesh and CAD,
Yeah, absolutely. So what is it that you guys do for anyone that might not be familiar with the brand?
Right, well, Trilogy makes amplifiers, not necessarily valve, not necessarily solid state. So I have no preference, I have no allegiance to either one or the other technologies, but we just make amplifiers. No pretense for doing digital, that's just not an area we do. We just concentrate on pure amplifiers.
Lovely stuff. And you say you've got no preference either way. Do you have quite a large range of products? Or?
We've got about 12 or 14 products.
Wow.
So some are pure solid state, some are hybrids,
Yeah.
and some are, there's no pure valve at the moment, but later this year there will be.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
And, where would you say, because obviously amplifiers is an incredibly saturated market, much like speakers and everything else. Where do you sit in terms of affordability? Would you say class yourselves as a luxury product?
Yeah, we're very much at the top end.
Yeah.
We're all hand built in Britain. All of the metalwork's done here in Britain. The painting, so that costs. So we're more about one-off manufacture products.
Yeah.
So we're at the real high end.
And whereabouts in the UK are you making the?
We're in a little village called Cleve Prior, which is on the edge of the Cotswolds.
God, that is so quintessentially English.
It is rather. We were in London for the first 32 years, but I got away from it 3.5 years ago now. So yeah.
So a very quaint little village, is it?
A very quaint little village.
Ah.
I look out and see ducks, and we even have deer walking around the garden sometimes.
I don't know why, but I've got that Hovis music playing in the back of my head now, and it's just like, my dad made amplifiers. So, what's your background in this? How did you get into the hi-fi game?
It's funny, my father was not interested in electronics at all, but
Was he a bread maker?
No, he was a publican, actually.
Oh, okay.
Spent most of my early childhood being tried to taste beers, and I absolutely, still to this day, hate beer because of that.
Well,
but his father was into electronics, used to build radios and things. But I was playing with radios and amplifiers at the age of 4 and 5 and 6. How I didn't kill myself, God only knows.
Different times.
Then my first place to actually start my career was with JCV Hi-Fi, and it's actually where I met Richard Bates, who's recently joined us, doing our sales director. So I was there as a Saturday lad, then I worked there full time.
He did say that you were 15 at the time.
And an arrogant little sod.
He might have used those words. He might have used other words. But did you always have a sort of feeling that you knew what you wanted from hi-fi?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just innately in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I worked there full time for a little bit. I got an interview with Meridian, got the job, but a week later I got offered the job at the BBC.
Oh,
so
okay. What was it that you did at the BBC?
Well, I was there 10 years in total, just under 10 years, and I started off as a trainee assistant film recordist, then a film recordist. Then I decided I wanted to work inside rather than on location. So I ended up in post-production sound.
Nice.
So, 9.5, 10 years doing that.
And was that a lot of reel-to-reel work, analog tape?
Oh, yeah. Well, we were the film department, which was kind of the film department.
Yes.
So it was all on 35mm, and then obviously Niagara's being used for on location.
Yeah.
So,
was this at the age of BBC sound production where you all wore white coats?
No, I'm not that old.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just, I think you sort of, there's a romanticisation of the BBC and the white coats and we are the BBC and the sort of tramley worn up.
The first. I did a training Wood Norton, and that was 3 months. And then the next year, we weren't even allowed to touch any piece of gear. You had to be with somebody to make sure you didn't screw up. So, but it was incredibly informative, and I spent some time in the engineering department as well. But I was mainly on the sound side.
Yeah.
So I learnt a lot there. Absolutely.
And I think the problem, I've said this before with multiple manufacturers, is that there seems to be a divide between the engineering brain and the love of music brain.
Yep.
Do you struggle with that, or is it the love of the music that drives the engineering, or vice versa?
I don't struggle with it. Our stuff measures okay, but it doesn't measure brilliantly. And when I say that, you have to clarify it, really, because I think some of the things people strive for now are actually really not that important for overall sound quality. I don't think there's any correlation between ultra-low distortion and good sound quality. So, no, very much driven by soul, but I have a strong engineering background, so we just do things right.
Yeah.
But the soul leads,
So it's more a case
not
of
the engineering.
you're led by your ear and the love of the music, but you have the technological knowledge to make the changes.
Back it up. Well, I'm not formally trained. I've learned absolutely everything I've learned in my entire life by doing it wrong.
Yeah, well, that's how we do these things.
It is. And I think engineers just read the engineering book, and the book says how you do it.
Yeah.
It's just one perspective. There's no right and wrong. You know, I've always thought designing amplifiers, and I'm sure speakers and digital exactly the same, but you've got a huge palette of foods or devices that you can use, and it's about getting the blend right.
Yeah.
So a great chef not only uses good ingredients, but he kind of intuitively knows what ingredients to partner with other ingredients, and I think that's the fundamentally important thing.
Well, I think that's quite beautifully put, to be honest. And obviously, you spend a lot of time listening to your products and gauging from, as we say, from a technological point of view. What sort of music are you listening to? What's your go-to stuff?
Jazz, blues, soul for me.
Yeah.
Classical as well. Pop, not really. Country.
Country as well. Okay, so I was going to say mainly things that are recorded
more
often,
simply.
Yeah, more simply, and more often in a live environment as well.
Yeah.
So you're really trying to capture that soul,
Yeah.
lay it back as if the musicians were in the room.
You've got to have the connection to the music. That's fundamentally more important to me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's refreshing to hear, because I don't think I'm out of line in saying this. A lot of people out in the hi-fi world are led by tech specs, and
Absolutely.
they forget what they're listening to, and they forget why they're listening to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, we use words, you know, we don't use slam and high-frequency performance and transparency. We use things more like beauty and delicacy. Those are the terms that that excites me.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and I think that's right. You know, my background I did my degree in studio recording and live sound, so that's how I got into music. I played in bands and things many years ago, and but it was always driven by a love of music. The tech was a byproduct,
A support of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, that's fantastic. So going back to the products, you say you're bringing something out later this year. Can you talk more about that, or is that a work in progress? Or?
Well, we started off in 1990, and we started off with valve monoblocks, pure valve, and it's about time we did one. So we're going to introduce some valve monoblocks.
And it's an anniversary edition, is it? Or?
Well, it will be 37 years of age, so not really a particular landmark. But we're going to do a pure valve amp, and it's going to be as good as I can do.
Lovely.
Within reason, you know, because you can. I mean, everything has to have a compromise in it. So,
yeah.
But we'll go as far as we can.
And are you working alone in producing these products, or do you have a team?
In terms of design,
yeah,
no, entirely me.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. No, well, I say unfortunately. I've always thought this. You can only have, if you're doing a job, you can only have one master. So it's like, for example, setting up a system. I'm not the best in the world at doing that. I'm very happy if somebody wants to do that.
Yeah.
I will just walk away from it. You can't have two people.
Okay.
Design by committee doesn't work. Well, you can just. I think you get mediocrity if you design by committee.
A lot of compromises, and you're streamlining the design process. And what about the manufacturing? Is that?
That's all in-house. There's only 4 of us, but so we very much
still a very small team.
Still very small, yeah. Not that interested in it being a huge concern. Just doesn't excite me. I'm more interested in the music and passionate about what we do rather than quantity.
Well,
but I'm lucky enough to be in the position that's just fine by me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there we have it, guys, and. hopefully you will come down to the show and see Nic and Trilogy, and hopefully you'll be here for many years to come.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
And it's lovely to sit down and have a
Thanks,
chat.
Brad. That's very kind of you.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you've seen, subscribe, like, do all that jazz down at the bottom around here, and come join us at the show here all weekend. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.